Bonjour, bienvenue. Today you're going to discover the simplest of actions to be ready for a medical emergency in France, some vital questions you could be asked by the medics, and where you can get speaking practice in French to support your learning and confidence with spontaneous situations. Hi, I'm Christine Cam, founder of Simply French Online and creator of the Real French Method, making your learning rewarding, effective and adventurous learning. Now, if you know somebody who wants to know about medical emergency vocabulary, please share. In the meantime, on s'y met. Be ready for that medical emergency in France. And I'd just like to credit Michelle Ewens for stimulating this beautiful video. So first of all, make a note of the number 15. That's the number that you need to ring if you need les pompiers, the firemen, which unlike in England, it's not ambulance men that come, it's the firemen. They are trained to look after you in an emergency. So keep this note really obvious or on your phone. Now, important in your cupboard is you never know when you need to lower a fever. The French equivalent to what we use at home is Doliprane. You can ask for 1000 milligrams de Doliprane. Keep it in the house to reduce pain or reduce the fever. But I add, if you're feeling like whatever you've got is going to end up in a bit of an emergency and you're a little bit worried, do take a note or keep the packet so that you have something to tell them, or you've got it written down somewhere that this is when you took that Doliprane. Now, keep a thermometer in the house, preferably one for the ears. They're the most accurate. Use it as soon as you think you might have a temperature, and note the time as well. The 15 service and SAMU, they actually need this data. What have you taken? What's your temperature? Do you know? That's if it's at all possible, because, hey, you never know if you're able to even give this information. I put mine in the phone. My number 15 is in my phone. It's ready for an emergency. But there's also the in case of emergency number. So I've put my emergency contact in there. So if anyone actually can get into my phone, they can use my face recognition and get into my phone. So keep the number 15 in your phone. And don't forget the ICE number, the ICE. That's in case of emergency. If people need to contact someone on your behalf, they might look in your phone to see who should they contact. The next thing is invest in a blood pressure monitor. Quite frankly, we don't think we need this most of the time, but the SAMU might just ask for that data. And for a less emergency, where it's possible to take your blood pressure, don't wait for the SAMU to arrive. Help them to help you. They don't cost too much. It's worth investing in one. The problem about medical emergencies is that we don't know when it's going to happen. We don't even think it's going to happen at all. We all think we're immune to these things. We're living strong and healthy, and then it happens. So be prepared, if you're ringing, to be put forward to an answer machine. This is normal, and it's going to be in French. But don't panic. Get used to it. You can't actually ring and practice, but actually be ready to overcome your nerves. In an emergency, you need to. Press 1 to speak with a doctor and you hold for the SAMU. That's worth remembering. Have a basic understanding of French to follow the doctor's instructions over the phone. It's a local centre that deals with your call, so that's helpful. And they want some prepared information so that they can understand what to do when they get there. It saves valuable time. It's highly likely while they're asking you questions that people are getting ready to come out to you. So here they are on the right hand side. The questions that we found we might be asked were, quelle est sa tension artérielle? So what's his blood pressure? Il ou elle respire facilement? Respire from respiration. Facile is about easy, so is he breathing easily? Quel est son pouls? A-t-il ou a-t-elle du diabète? A-t-il des allergies? And est-il ou elle épileptique? Those questions are really important. You can see you're being asked about diabetes, allergies and epilepsy. Pensez-vous que ça pourrait être une réaction allergique? Good question. Could it be an allergic reaction? A-t-il ou elle déjà pris des médicaments? There we go. Whatever you've taken, you need to make a note of it. And don't forget the medication that you take as a routine thing as well. A-t-il ou a-t-elle une pathologie médicale existante? Are there any medical conditions that exist already that we need to know about? And finally, semble-t-il ou elle en souffrance? Does it look like your person is suffering? These questions could well be asked you in a medical emergency. That's worth looking at. So here they all are, laid out for you. Very easy for you to read. There they are. Make a note of those and just click back if you want to know the meaning of them again. So video your patient if at all possible. Focus on skin colour, breathing, any medications taken or potentially taken, and try to pinpoint any pain if possible. It all seems relatively straightforward while we're talking about it now, but when you are emotionally distressed, you are worried, these things can slip your mind very easily. And if you've prepared this, if you've got something ready like a crib sheet right by the phone, just discreetly under it, behind it or whatever, it's always very helpful to know it's there. So you'll be very lucky if the SAMU arrive within 45 minutes. I have a friend who recently called the SAMU and they were there within 20 minutes, and they'll start taking readings to keep your patient warm. Now, the time of arrival does depend on your location and their availability. So just keep your patient comfortable. If necessary, put them in the recovery position. You'll be able to decide that when you're actually in the situation. So here we go. If you are the kind of person that worries about this and you think you would get brain freeze, get used to busting through it. It really does matter, not just for a medical emergency, but for you, so you can have great spontaneous conversations. And I run Conversation Cafe where we speak in French every week with me, your teacher, and other students, and I only put 6 people in there. And very often we have French natives joining in just because they love you. Now, you're supported in your learning, you get mini lessons, you get help with pronunciation, you develop your listening skills. That's really important because much as you prepare what you're going to say in French, when someone answers you, you have to be able to decipher what they've said. And you're part of a professional community who also support your progress. They are a lovely bunch of people. I really am blessed. And on that note, merci, à la prochaine.